I'm going to start this video off with an apology, firstly. Just to say sorry to any of you guys who have been wondering where I've been and what's been going on. Obviously, I've still been kind of posting regularly on YouTube and so forth, but I haven't been streaming at all. Like, I don't even remember the last time I streamed. It must have been like at least 2 months ago. Potentially even longer than that. I just want to, apologize for the hiatus and not being here, but then also as well by not being transparent and saying like the reason why. I thought about messaging a couple of times and saying like, oh yeah, I'm just taking a break kind of thing and just kind of leave it there for you guys to see. But I didn't really give an explanation of why I kind of stopped streaming. Been a bit of a weird one, to be fair. This last like 4 to 5 months has been pretty mad, and to be fair, still the rest of the year, this year is going to be crazy. It's probably my busiest year for the majority of that. You know that I'm going through the process at the moment, or started the process of buying the house that I'm currently living in, and I'm getting married in August, so that's obviously like a lot of free time kind of been taken up a lot by that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's been because of laziness. I've been really lazy. I've been just procrastinating my life away to a certain extent is the best way to explain it. I deal with my own issues when it comes to like procrastination and just kind of getting on and doing things, and it's been kind of different. I've been trying to do different stuff. So obviously before I would, you know, kind of stream. Sometimes I take footage from the streams and make them into videos, and then other times I wouldn't do that. And then I was like kind of trapped myself into doing the same kind of games all the time, like when I was doing just Tarkov stuff, and then I obviously tried to expand and do different things. And then I kind of got in my head that I was like, oh well, I should only do story-based content, and as, to a degree I do still want to do story-based content, but what I was finding myself is that I would record these really long sessions of gameplay. For instance, I just did this massive playthrough on XCOM 2 that I really enjoyed recording. Just when it comes to the editing part, I mean, I've even done the thumbnail will come out really well, but when it comes to the editing part of it, I just really finding it hard to find the motivation to want to get through it, just because like it's just so much work, and I obviously spend the vast majority of my day at my computer working a lot on editing videos for other people, because obviously for a lot of people who know, that's what I do for my day job. I am a video editor for other YouTubers. So once I'm kind of like finished like putting together their stuff, it's really difficult for me. Well, I find it really difficult to kind of find the motivation to want to then do it for myself, if that kind of makes sense. It's kind of one of those things where like, you know, you have like a mechanic who works on cars all day, but then sometimes you find that mechanic also has like a really shitty rundown car where the work hasn't been done on it, or like a fencer who puts up fences for a living, and then their garden fence isn't that great. It's because like they do it all day for a day job, they then don't want to do it in their free time kind of thing. But that's not to say that I don't enjoy doing editing for myself in my free time, because it's kind of where I get to kind of more experiment and kind of flex my own editing techniques, if you get what I mean. Because, you know, normally when I'm working for people, it's to their current specifics of what they want, but it's kind of one of those where like I've just been finding it difficult with that kind of thing. And the streaming thing is, like I said, it comes down to kind of like laziness, because I've been doing so much with that. I then haven't in my head found time with streaming, because in my head I want to make like the best quality content possible, and it's like nearly impossible currently with my current system anyway to record like high quality content. And when I'm not what I mean by like what I'm doing in quality, I mean like the actual video footage coming out in high quality. Like I would get really upset before a few years ago when I would do like Tarkov videos and they'd be just ripped from the stream, and the quality wasn't to my liking. People still like the videos and still watch them, and I thank you guys for that, but at the same time the quality wasn't up to what I wanted as like a standard. So I just kind of got away from the idea as well. If I want the high quality YouTube videos, then that means I need to record sessions outside of streaming to be able to make those videos. And obviously if I'm working a full-time job, I've obviously got like social life, I've got all this stuff to go on in the background. I'm like, well, how am I going to get time to record for 4 or 5 hours and then also stream for like 3 to 4 hours on our days as well? And I was like, well, I can't do that, so I kind of need to just kind of like drop one and just do one and one only. But then I kind of got to the point where I do that, and then I'm like, well, I miss streaming. I miss the social interaction, you know, with you guys and the community that we were building over the last couple of years, you know. So it's kind of one of those where I just like, Don't really know. And to be honest as well, one of the things that I got me down actually is when I tried to do a transition, obviously from when I was doing like Tarkov, then I started doing a bit of ABI content, other bits and bobs, and then I jumped onto doing the VR stuff. And admittedly, the VR streams didn't do well. People didn't enjoy watching VR content to a degree. I think it's because of like how choppy it is, you know, because the head's moving all the time. The image isn't still. It's a little bit harder to keep up with. But that kind of disheartened me as well at the time, because I was really into the game and I wanted to make content about it, but then people weren't tuning into the stream, so instead I'd go to like, you know, maybe like 30-40 minutes without speaking to anybody. It'd just be on my own. And before, when I first started streaming, I didn't care about that kind of thing, because, you know, when you're starting out, you don't expect people to be there. And I'm not saying I expect people to be there now, but, you know, when you're used to, when you get out of that rut, I forget what I mean, because it isn't enjoyable when you do first start out and you are streaming to essentially nobody. It does get downhearted. But then when you build something up and then you've got people coming in regularly and you've got someone to talk to pretty much all the time, when that then goes away again, it's really hard to get back on the horse with that again, if that kind of makes sense. It's kind of the best way I can describe it is if you're, you know, going for a run, for anybody who's any runners or any exercise in general, is just to explain my point. When you go for a run and you're running for a long period of time, you start to get a little bit gassed out, but you're in good state. You know, you're getting to this destination where you're trying to get to, you know, you're in good time, but then you conk out and you then start walking again because you need to catch your breath. But then it's really difficult to start running again because you've already stopped. So it's kind of that same analogy with that, where like, because no people were coming in and I'd already, you know, in my head, I expected some people to show up to be able to like enjoy it. And obviously people did, but obviously not as many as I would have liked. It kind of disheartened me to wanting to continue to streaming it. And obviously because I was only making content recently about, for instance, Exfil Zone, and people weren't doing it. And obviously the YouTube videos were doing okay. So I thought, oh, I'll just keep doing that and then I'll just stop streaming. But I never was transparent. This whole point is that like there was like zero transparency with any of you about what the hell was going on. And I've had like people private message me and even message in the Discord asking like, where are you, what's going on, UK kind of thing. And I'd like I said, my answer is like, I'm good, like life is good right now. I just been really struggling to kind of like piece together what the hell I want to do. And I think what has come down to is because I really enjoy recording the content, but I really struggle with actually like taking the time to edit them. Like I said before, because I do it as a day job and I do it every single day, I find it really hard to motivate myself to want to edit the footage afterwards. So I think potentially what my plan is going forward is I want to increase the amount of videos that I'm putting out, but they're only going to be kind of like stream highlights. But I will put some time into it. There won't be just like bog standard stream highlights, like for instance Landmark, where he just chops and there's like essentially no editing involved and it's just what it is. There'll still be like a story that I'm trying to portray kind of thing, but there'll be a lot more simpler for me to put together. Just so like, for instance, that I can sit down for 2 to 3 hours in an editing session and I can essentially bash the entire video out in 2 to 3 hours because I can motivate myself to do that. When it comes to like, for instance, this XCOM video that I'm working on at the moment, the recording alone was 40 hours. The editing I've done so far on it is already consumed 6 to 7 and I'm only like a portion through it. Obviously I did the thumbnail too, so that's going to be like a long time for me before I finish that, and it's just kind of, like I said, difficult to kind of motivate myself to get there to do that. So I think what I'm going to do going forward is I'm going to start streaming again. So this is like the be all and end all as the point I'm trying to get to. I'm going to start streaming again. It might be today. I've been feeling really unwell over the weekend. I was really sick yesterday. I'm feeling better now. I wasn't so great this morning, but I'm feeling pretty good now. So potentially today, maybe probably more likely tomorrow, we'll start streaming again. And I'm going to get back to doing like a kind of idea. There'll be obviously some streams where I just kind of haven't got an idea yet. So I'll just play and then just see if anything happens enough noteworthy for me to make something out of. But there'll be like ideas that I come up with and then I just want to kind of like record an idea and then kind of go from there and then chop that down into something more digestible for people who just enjoy watching YouTube content. So yeah, I mean, if any of you guys, if you are watching this on YouTube, then you'll be like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Like, I only really watch his YouTube videos that even really know he streamed. It's because I streamed for such a long period of time on Twitch. Then I started doing YouTube, and obviously originally I was on TikTok. And I have done some YouTube live streams. They haven't done as well as the other stuff, but again, I didn't expect it to because, you know, for instance, on TikTok, like it's so much easier to get your content out in front of people. And for instance, on YouTube, like I'm only still pretty new on there, even though the channel's been growing quite well. Thank you for that. It's not been getting to where I want it to be able to stream on it yet, but I am going to start. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do vertical streams on there instead of horizontal, and doing like how it was before, where I do vertical TikTok, vertical on YouTube, and then I do horizontal normal on Twitch. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that once Twitch implements the new 1440p 4K stuff, what's coming soon, because they've actually been rolling it out to people, and I think that might include AV1 encoding too. What will also make it a lot easier for me when it comes to streaming anyway, because it means that the quality level will go up. What obviously I wanted anyway, the quality level will increase, and at the same time I'll be able to get that stuff out to you, so I'll be able to rip the streams off and then upload them in a high quality, what I will like anyway. So I'll probably do that for the time being until that comes out, and then I'll do the horizontal on YouTube and then the horizontal on Twitch, and then there's still the vertical on TikTok for the time being. I don't know when it comes to TikTok content, for any of you guys who do watch me have come over from there, wherever you come from. I don't know. I'm not planning to do any kind of like TikTok content specifically for TikTok. If anything, it's going to be cut down versions of YouTube videos that I then post. Because I kind of really got burnt out over the couple of years that when I did grow quite initially on TikTok, where I was just making content on there and it was like only specifically designed for that platform, and I got really sucked into doing tutorial based content just because obviously I was trying to post a video every single day, and you can't come up with a new concept for like an interesting story every single day. I mean, I haven't got that kind of like creativity to be able to do that, so I got really sucked into doing tutorial based stuff, what I didn't particularly enjoy making, and then I also got sucked into doing news stuff. And for any of you guys who've been around for a while, with the controversy that I got involved with Tarkov, didn't particularly end well for me. I'd obviously take a break after that because that kind of butchered me for a while. So yeah, I won't be going towards that. It still should be purely sticking towards story-based content to a degree, and gameplay. I would love to push full-fledged built story content in the future if I manage to get the stream and YouTube into a position where it's generating enough money that I can then hire somebody to do those kind of edits for me, because like I said, I don't have the time or two the motivation to want to do those kind of long edits, just because because I do it all day. I can't get the motivation to do it. Like I said, if I did this full time and I wasn't doing it editing for people, I definitely would just do it all myself. But obviously, as it stands right now, I can't, because I just don't have the time or the motivation to be able to sieve and do those massive long form content. Even the key videos to a degree take a while, but the thing with those is they're quite easy to kind of structure, just because the videos are already laid out in the stream, or however long I do it. It's normally about 8 to 10 hours of footage to get those in. Obviously, they end up being 25 to 30 minute videos once I cut them down. But they are quite structured, so they're not super difficult to put together, but they do still consume a bit of time. So will probably definitely do those, just because like it's hard to stay away from them, because they are my most popular videos I've ever done, have been on those rooms. So whether it be on Tarkov or Exfil or whatever the hell it's been on, it's like they are been my most popular videos. So probably will do those again, but there will be more far and few between, I can imagine, is the point I'm trying to get to. So yeah, so this is just a big overall. I've just kind of ranted now for about 13 minutes. I'm probably going to chuck this up on YouTube just so people know what's going on. Just regards to what I'll be streaming, I want to be diverse, and this is the whole point I've tried to push towards diversity, because one of the few times I've stopped streaming in the past is because I got bored of doing the same game over and over again, especially like with Tarkov. I want to, like I said, broaden it out. I've got obviously the XCOM video, what will hopefully get done in the future. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to release it episode by episode, just because I've nearly got one episode done, so at least I can get one out there, and then it kind of like breaks it down to more manageable chunks. It's definitely sticking to extraction shooters. Obviously, we've got the new ABI season coming out very soon. There's a new season coming out for Exfil, so I'll definitely be still doing some VR stuff. Whether I stream or not, I don't know. And also Tarkov related stuff as well. Hello, kitty. Just decided to run outside. So yeah, we'll get back to the swing of things. This is the point I'm trying to make. So yeah, if you are watching on YouTube and you haven't checked my live streams out, by the way, because like I said, I used to stream very regularly and I have for years. It's mainly been on Twitch. Obviously, there have been stuff on YouTube as well. So if any of you guys who want to go over there and drop us a follow while we kick things back up again, I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, we should be getting back into full swing of things, and I can hopefully get back into making more kind of like piece together YouTube content, or sorry, more regular YouTube content instead of like I said, doing one video a week. Because like I said, the reason why I posted last week and there was a 3-week break is because I was in the process of doing the XCOM video and it was just taking so goddamn long. So I was like, well, I just need to get something out there, and then I just kind of end up rushing something else. But yeah, so that's not what I want. But yeah, we're gonna get back to it. New things. I do have some cool ideas for some collab ideas that I want to do in the future. I've got some concepts that I haven't seen other people do online yet, so it'd be interesting to see how they perform and they do once I get the time to do that. That could be some Tarkov stuff, that could be ABI, it could be some other stuff, but like I said, we're just going to be sticking in the kind of like tactical shooter genre, but then also piecing in some VR stuff in there. And then like I said, if I have a really cool concept video for like the XCOM stuff that I've been doing, that will come out as like an episodic thing that'll still be on the main channel, and then we'll just kind of like stick it there and then just see how it does for me. If I do it again, do it this time and it really underperforms, and then if I do another one in the future that underperforms, maybe I'll stick away from it. But like I said, I still do want to just kind of do content that I enjoy instead of just kind of putting out what I think people will like instead of actually what I like, if that makes sense. Sorry, I should clear my throat. Got rabbiting on here. So this video was supposed to be really short, on like 2 to 3 minutes, and I've now rabbited on for like 16 minutes. So apologies if it doesn't seem cohesive and you're kind of not catching the drift of where I'm coming from. But I'll post this on Discord so any of you guys in Discord can see this stuff, and I'm also going to post this on YouTube as well, just so people are informed with plans on the channel going forward. Yeah, but yeah, have a good rest of your day, and I'll hopefully catch you guys in the videos that are coming.